and welcome to Subfacts. I'm your host, Matt. I'm here with my partner in crime, Mooney. What's up, Mooney?
What's up?
This is gonna be a wild show, folks. Wild show. We're flying blind. Is blind. Actually, it's more blind than we've been in a while, actually, which is really cool. It's exciting.
So it's like this. We don't know where we're going.
It's very exciting.
For the listeners, I was doing the whole closed eyes mime thing, but I mean,
for the YouTube, you watch it on YouTube, folks. So yeah, we're flying blind. We're kind of changing the format up. I know we've been teasing it over the last couple of weeks, and this time I think we've come up with a format that might be fun.
We're you know what? Because I'm gonna do a little teaser, a spoiler. Mm-hmm. What is it? What does he say? This is crazy. This is crazy. This is crazy. We're jumping in. We're jumping into the pool.
We're jumping right in. Yeah.
We're not tiptoeing. We're not seeing if the water is warm. We're just jumping right in the pool.
Exactly. So, folks, normally around this time, we would be going right into our warm up segment. But you know what? Scrapped it. No warm up. Brian is still with us. He's still here. Hey, Brian.
Hey guys, I'm still here.
Okay, cool. So Brian is with us.
He will continue to be here.
Before we get into this flying blind show, just a little administrative thing. Next week, we will not be doing a show, and I will get to that. But yeah, just make it clear we will not be doing a show, but we will be back October 5th and doing a show like we normally would. You didn't need to know October 5th, but the week of October 5th, right. That's when we'll be doing a show. The reason we're going to be off next week, I had a loss in the family. My grandmother, who was a big supporter of the show, she didn't really listen because we talk about a lot of the things that just aren't relevant in her world, but she was a very big proponent of the show. She unfortunately passed away on Friday. And so,
rest her soul.
Yep. She, really weird. And I've talked about this in the past. She was 94 in 364 days. Like literally the next day was her 95th birthday. Do you just round up? Like,
yeah, of course you just round up.
Like, I think you should round up.
I think at 184.
Yeah. Yeah. Like, I don't know how you do it. Like,
180 is 360, so 181. I would say 183. You round up.
Oh, like you're on day 183, you just round up.
Yeah, you round up.
So can you do that from like a tombstone perspective? Because like I always look at tombstones. Like if you ever go to a funeral, like if you ever go to a cemetery,
you don't round up for a tombstone because it
messes up the tombstone.
No, it doesn't.
Yeah, it does because you have to give the full date. If you give the day before, it doesn't count.
Don't wait a minute. Don't some tombstone.
You can put whatever you want on a tombstone.
Yeah, I was going to say.
There's no tombstone police.
That's
right, but
true.
Can't you just do like August 2020? Say.
Oh, you could September 2023 or September 1928 or whatever to September. Good point.
Yeah,
because then we can all just go. Oh yeah, 95. Boom. Yeah, I think that would be awesome. Because that's the one thing that kind of threw me off a little bit. So then I had another conundrum. And so I've made it clear that on the show I've said this, that if somebody passes away and I have tickets to a show, I'm still going to the show.
You are absolutely going to the show.
I personally didn't think it was going to happen to me. I didn't think that, like, I said it flippantly, really. And I said it, and lo and behold, it happened. I had 2 concerts to go to this weekend, one on Friday, the day that she passed away, unfortunately.
And you still went.
And it was so funny. BK, who's, fan favorite on the show, we talked to each other as soon as we found out. And, obviously we shared our thoughts and whatnot. And then I was kind of like, well, we're both supposed to go see Pantera tonight. I was like, everybody grieves in their own different way. And I totally respect if you don't want to go, but I think I'm still going to go, and I said, and this is the one thing, my grandmother was very musical. She loved music.
She did.
She was, unfortunately for me, I was able to check off a bucket list. What Andy helped, and I mentioned that on the show. So I figured she would want me to go.
100% she would.
So BK and I both decided that it's best if we go. Interesting thing is when it comes to like the funeral arrangements, my family kind of leans on me when it comes to music, and it's really just the technology of
me.
Well, they were like, we would like to play certain songs. I think it's during the wake that they play songs, and so she had some songs that they wanted me to download, and so I just I download them and I figure them out, and one of them was "Isn't She Lovely" by Stevie Wonder, and I thought, that's an odd choice because I didn't know that was a big song for her, but it stuck out in my head. So I go to see Pantera, and I'm going, and keep in mind, it's Lamb of God, who's heavier than Pantera, and Pantera.
Right.
So when you go to a concert, typically when you get there early, they're playing house music, but they're playing music that's indicative of the type of music
similar to the type of music you're going to listen
absolutely
to that night.
So I get to my seats, and all of a sudden, "Isn't She Lovely" by Stevie Wonder is playing over the loudspeaker.
Divine intervention.
I was like, Graham, what's up? You're at Lamb of God and Pantera with me. Way to go.
See?
But
you
who
made
knew,
the right
like,
choice.
Out of all the songs you could choose, how is that song happening?
In there?
Yeah, so I got a little goosebumps.
You could have like Dancing on the Ceiling.
You could have been anything,
Islands in the Stream, but they play that?
Yeah, the exact same thing. So I like to think that that's Graham from above saying,
that's Graham from above.
I'm glad you went to the Pantera show.
Absolutely. I'd like to think so too.
And then, obviously once I broke that field, you and I went to go see Kix for their final ever show on Sunday.
Amazing.
Yeah, and so we'll definitely, folks.
We're getting into that a little later.
Yeah, we'll get into that a little bit later. I did want to highlight the Pantera Lamb of God show and the fact that great show. I really enjoyed it. The only thing that I really started noticing was the people that go to these shows. Like when you go, you want to rep like your bands, and you want to, once again, like the music, you want to kind of dress in the mode of the show that you're going to.
Sure, you don't want to be shirt and tie for a Pantera concert.
So you see a lot of like other concert shirts, and you see like battle jackets with the patches all over the place, and that's where I noticed there's just straight comedy. There's people that you want to stop them and go, why did you do this?
Yeah.
Like I saw a guy
sort of like the football jerseys tucked in.
Yes.
You want to stop those people.
Or it's like the people with like a football jersey with a player that never played. Like I've seen like the stupid Caps fans or whatever who will have like a Commander's jersey with Ovechkin on the back of it. And it's just dumb. Like, why do you make those mistakes?
Yeah.
The same thing happened in the rock world too. Like I saw a person with a battle jacket on. They only had 2 patches. Like it's like a starter,
only
I
2.
guess. Big on the over the shoulders, they had a big Slayer patch, and I'm like, yeah, that fits. Pantera, Lamb of God, Slayer. Absolutely. You're in with it. They had a back panel like patch.
Night Ranger?
No, Ghost.
Wait, I thought Ghost was heavy.
Ghost isn't heavy. Like that's the funny thing is Ghost and Slayer couldn't be any more apart.
Really? Okay.
In the world. And so I was just like, that's odd. Like if you're gonna have Slayer, you could put like Megadeth and Anthrax, the big 4 with Metallica, all that. So you could do all of that. You could even go heavier.
You don't put Ghost.
No, it is. It's kind of like having Night Ranger and Slayer to get to your point. It just doesn't make sense.
Right.
So it's like
Twisted Sister and then Bare Naked Ladies. That would be. I mean, I'd be like, okay.
Yeah, and if I was the guy who could talk to and you guys know I love Bon Jovi. I would never put Bon Jovi on a battle patch.
But you could if you put down
I would have to go
Duran and all those other bands.
No, I would have to go all hair bands.
Okay, hair
if I was going to do that.
Warrant.
But you really can't have a battle jacket with hair bands, right? You got to have you got to go with like Obituary and Napalm Death and like all that stuff.
No one knows those bands.
No, a lot of people do. Like Cannibal Corpse, they have an album coming out this week.
Cannibal Corpse.
Cannibal Corpse is dope. But anyway, I'm not going on a tangent with that, but what I've noticed is it's very funny. And I think, folks, if you go to concerts, because this is what I do, I look to see the weirdest combination of clothes, like what people are putting together just doesn't make any sense. But anyway.
Okay, so here I took a picture of a girl at the Kix concert. She had obviously Night Ranger. She had Kix. She had Metallica. She had Slaughter.
So she's kind of okay though, because
Guns N' Roses, Def Leppard.
Because that's at least all in the same vein. You know what I mean? Like that's all 80s, 80s metal for hair bands. It's more hair bands, but Metallica, you could kind of cross that bridge, So I can't argue.
Todd Reffler or something.
Todd Rundgren.
No.
Tom Kiefer.
Yeah, Tom Kiefer.
Oh, Tom Kiefer from Cinderella. Yeah. So if you've got Cinderella already, I would not go with the Tom Kiefer solo patch, though. I think that's a little odd.
That's what she had. She had a TK solo patch.
Yeah, you don't need the TK solo patch. But at least she's sticking with like the hair bands, and I kind of give them credit for that. But folks, I do think when you go to concerts, look for this stuff because it's always out there. I find it to be so funny.
The crazy people are everywhere.
The crazy hair gets you too. Like I saw a dude at the Pantera show that had a skullet, like a Hulk Hogan style,
skullet,
fully bald almost, and he then had a ponytail like down to his butt, and I'm like, what are those hairs hanging on to?
Yeah,
like they're hanging on for dear life, and I'm like, why? Is there nobody in his life that just goes, really, dude? Come on.
Yeah,
like
somebody should tell him.
I would hope that if I chose to do that, you would pull me aside.
I would.
You're not going to try to embarrass me or anything, but just go.
Well, I did. I told you last week not to wear the cutoff shirt.
That's true, but that's what I'm saying. Those people need friends in their lives just to go, look, dude. That's not
the problem is keeping friends when you dress like that and you have hair like that.
Good point. But anyway, the overall looks of these people are fantastic, and I wonder where do they come from because I don't see them in my normal life.
No, you don't.
So it always fascinates me. But anyway, so as we mentioned, Mooney and I went to see Kix's final performance
was awesome.
Great show. We are going to do a Kix final performance special that we'll be putting up on our YouTube channel, which will have a little bit of an intro from us, but then selected songs from the band, like selected performances. Let's just say their opening band was Child's Play, who was amazing. Like when I was in high school, Child's Play used to open up for Kix all the time, and they were so good.
Yeah, Child's Play was even good too.
And so we've got a little bit of Child's Play we'll show you, and then we'll show you a lot of the big clips from the Kix show. So look forward to that. It'll be out pretty soon, and it'll be on our YouTube channel. So we had a great time.
I mean, I don't know when we get into it, but like. I've only seen him twice, but for me, Kix is awesome. They put on an amazing show.
Oh, yeah.
That guy can sing the lights out at 68, 70 years old.
Yeah, 67. Steve Whiteman is arguably one of the best front men in rock because he's very engaging. He gets the crowd going.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's a band that like I wouldn't want to follow. Like it would be very difficult to follow them.
Yeah. For the life of me, there's one of their songs, Cold Blood. And this song is I put it as a ringtone. It is fantastic.
Did you really?
I'm trying. I downloaded the song. I'm trying to make it a ringtone custom. But how is this not a hit? This is like
I sent you the video. They put a video out.
Nobody other like Cherry Pie, We're Not Gonna Take It, Mental Health. This is like, but it's got the ballad piece a little bit, but it's like any other really popular song from that day and age.
So there's a story, and I kind of alluded to you at the show. Kix was one of those bands that was always there, but not there. Like they were always on the cusp, and
they were like the Bills losing 4 Super Bowls in a row.
Yeah, like one of the things is they always stayed true to their Maryland roots. And interesting thing about them was like bands like Poison, bands that Poison's from Pennsylvania, and so
yeah, but you wouldn't know it.
No, but before they moved to California, they were all opening up for Kix. So like, you know, a lot of these big bands opened up for Kix. I saw Kix one time. I saw Poison at like a big arena, and after that they went to Hammerjacks in Baltimore and played with Kix, and they were saluting Kix the whole time. And it's like,
awesome.
That's crazy that like Poison's doing arenas and Kix stayed in their club days or whatever, but they were always the band that was about to break but never really did. And the guitar player told this really funny story in an interview where their biggest album, Blow My Fuse, was going to be the album where everybody was basically saying, this is it, you guys are going to be huge, this is your big ticket on MTV, blah 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 blah. And while they were in the studio, you know, the way studios work, there's always other bands working on stuff and whatnot. And so a producer came over to him and said, hey, you guys really got to check out this new Def Leppard album called Hysteria.
Oh, wow.
And so Hysteria pops and Kix
and Blow My Fuse.
Yeah, because
Second Fiddle is not as good.
Cold Blood and Blow My Fuse had videos that MTV just didn't play. And so, and Don't Close Your Eyes was the big hit that MTV did play off of that album. So then
that's on that album too?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
It's like that's one of their best albums. So cut to 1991-ish, I think. They're doing the Hotwire album. And once again, Hotwire album's fantastic. They're in the studio doing their thing, and everybody's going, this is going to be your big thing, right? A producer comes in and says, man, you got to check out this new band called Nirvana. And they have this song, like this album,
Smells
Nevermind.
Like
yeah. And it was just like, these dudes cannot catch a break from a timing perspective.
Oh, God, that's
so every step of the way. But fortunately, they've had a loyal fan base.
Yeah, their
in this
fan base
area.
is crazy loyal.
Yeah, so
this last concert, they said they were going to play it at like a 5,000 person arena, right, or something. And then they said, no, we'll switch it up. We'll go to Merriweather, and Merriweather's sold out.
Yeah, well, no, what happened was they decided to retire, and they already had some tour dates scheduled.
Okay.
The last date was at a festival, actually, but it was in like Oklahoma or something like that, or Wisconsin. And they were like, we don't want to end on Wisconsin because of the fact that we want to say thank you to the fans of Maryland.
Absolutely.
So they called up Merriweather, and Merriweather was like, sure, we don't have anything scheduled that date. And they literally sold out Merriweather Post for their final show, which is so great that they could do that. Because honestly, folks, they've been playing clubs for quite some time. So for them to be able to sell out a decent sized venue was pretty great.
Yeah.
It's a great way to go out. But anyway, so Kix is one of my favorites, and if you haven't heard them, you should definitely check them out.
They get my vote too, and you know how I am about music.
Yeah, like if you enjoyed hair bands from the 80s, you can't not love Kix. And I would say there's comedians that they call comedians.
Right.
Kix is like the musician, like the hair band's hair band. Like they're the ones that all the hair bands kind of admire and looked up to. They just never got that big break. So anyway,
so let's get into like what would what direction do we go? Do we either go the top hair bands, or do we go hair bands that you would love to see a last show from?
Well, you asked the question. So yeah, because that was one of the things is I think the last show part first. I think the last show, like if I had to see, I've never seen anybody's final show until Sunday. That was the first for me. I've seen plenty of final tours,
and you've seen a lot of shows.
Yeah, I've seen a ton of final tours, but I've never seen
a lot of fake final tours.
Kiss. Oh, 100%. It was funny. Kiss just announced some more tour dates on their farewell tour, and somebody in the comments wrote, I saw their farewell tour back in 1998, and it was like, yeah, okay, great. They've had like 20 farewell tours. So I saw Motley Crue's farewell tour, but apparently that didn't happen.
Right.
Remember, they even signed their names in blood on the contract to their fans saying, we will never come back. And that's odd. So from a final like what band would I want to see their final ever show?
I would have liked
does it
to have
have to
seen
be
Twisted
hairband or just
Sister's
anybody?
final show.
Does it have to be hairbands or just anybody's final show?
I would say let's stick to hairbands. Because that could, I mean, if you go outside of hairbands, it could get a long list.
True.
I would have loved to have seen Twisted Sister's last show.
I did see Twisted Sister. It was close to their last show actually, but it wasn't.
That's awesome.
It wasn't their last show, like because I know they did a couple other benefit shows and stuff, so it wasn't their final show.
But it was at least last tour.
It was probably within the last 10 shows that they did.
See, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, it was cool, and they sounded great. I had no issues with them. Yeah, I think so. Bon Jovi's my all-time favorite band. So,
but you're going to go to their last show.
I don't know. I don't know if I can. I'd want to go. I'd have to go. I feel like I have to go.
You'd have to go.
But ticket prices would just be astronomical.
Yeah, bleachers would be in the thousands.
Because they're just ridiculously expensive as it is. But so their final show ever, in theory, should be in New Jersey. So we could definitely get to it, which would be so. I think I'd have to go. I think it wouldn't be right if I didn't. And you could
probably get a ticket for a few thousand because they're going to play what? Mm-hmm. They're going to play like MetLife or something like that.
Yeah. And like I'll see like Iron Maiden's final tour, but I'm sure their final show will be in like England. So like I'm not going to be able to go to that. So
let's get into hair bands.
Okay. So hair bands.
What are top hair? You said these bands would, they look up to Kix. What are some of the top hair bands ever?
Well, so we have a list here, the hair metal.
Oh, we do.
We'll go. Okay, so let's go.
Brian.
Big Brian coming to the stage.
What up?
He needs like a stripper name now that I said coming to the stage.
Oh, Biscuit, we can call him.
Oh, Biscuit's coming to the stage.
So this list is ranked.
Biscuits.
Singles.
What's up, Biscuit?
This list is ranked from 50 to 1. So they've got. You can just go through the list. We can go through the list.
Yeah, let's go through the list.
So number
50. Where did you get? This is VH1.
I think it was from VH1, but it's called the Hair Metal 50, ranking the 80s greatest glam bands.
Wait, quick. Is VH1 qualified to do it?
Yes, because VH1 for the last they have a channel called VH1 Classic.
Okay, got
and
it.
all they do is play like the 80s. They play the MTV stuff that MTV
I'm just making
doesn't
sure.
play anymore. So yeah, they get credit. It still sounds weak though, because it's VH1 always just sounds weak to me. Pretty Boy Floyd is number 50. I don't think anybody from Pretty Boy Floyd even owns a Pretty Boy Floyd CD. Like
I don't know them.
I've heard them, and I might have actually seen them live.
Do they have a one-hit wonder?
I feel like I saw them live somewhere like opening. It was opening up for opening up. You know what I mean? Nobody's ever heard them. Like nobody. I've never had anybody said, "Man, I love Pretty Boy Floyd."
Yeah. Okay. So I don't know.
I don't recognize any of their top songs.
Yeah. No one.
So they don't have anything.
No.
So, all right.
49 is Badlands.
I have heard Badlands.
I'm not sure I have.
Yeah, I've heard Badlands, Nova Rex. No one's ever heard of it. Vinnie Vincent Invasion.
Never heard of him.
Vinnie Vincent Invasion?
I think Vinnie Vincent Invasion should be higher on the list.
Really?
Do you know who Vinnie Vincent is?
No idea.
No.
He actually played guitar for Kiss when Ace left, I believe. I think he was the person.
I've never heard of Vinnie Vincent.
I think he came in after Ace, but he definitely played for Kiss. Vinnie Vincent's actually a really good guitar player.
Do they sing good songs?
Yeah, I didn't have a problem. Like I've heard them. I don't really own their whole catalog.
Solid.
Firehouse should be higher on the list. Firehouse is good.
Why are they behind Warlock?
Warlock is Doro Pesch. Doro is huge in like Germany, but like globally.
Okay.
But yeah, Warlock wasn't like, it's not bad. I think Doro's solo stuff is better, which she's got a new album coming out this month, if I'm correct, or actually in October. No, but Firehouse I think is a tragedy. Should be way higher.
Yeah,
on the
I
list.
like Firehouse. They have some like real good ballads.
Yeah, like there's no reason Love Hate should be ahead of Firehouse. By the way, Girls School, I saw them open up for Kiss. Not for Kiss, for Kix. So Girls School. Yeah. Okay, another band that's on this list that's tragically tragically underrated is Enough's Enough.
I was just gonna say, like, I remember them being
Enough's
bigger.
Enough,
Underrated?
underrated tragically.
Wow.
Enough's Enough has like a Beatlesque vibe. They're very
Weren't they like they had like neon stuff, like videos?
yeah, but like Fly High Michelle was their biggest hit.
Yeah.
But then the New Thing was a great song. Like they had their first 2 albums, fantastic.
Really?
I love Enough's Enough.
I remember Fly High Michelle New Thing. That's right.
And Chips Enough actually hooked up with Madonna at one point.
What's his name?
Chips Enough, the lead singer. No, he told a story about. He told a story on Howard Stern how she wanted him to use her as a toilet, if you know what I mean.
What?
Yes.
Oh my Lord!
Fascinating guy. But anyway, Enough's Enough.
Damn, Alice Cooper. That's low, right?
So Alice Cooper has an asterisk, and I'm assuming it's because Alice Cooper is not technically a hair band.
Yeah, I would say.
Only in the Poison, only in the like the 80s when he had like the Trash album would he have, and same with Hey Stupid album, but he's not really hair band, so I think he should be like
he's good where he is.
No, I think even
he's
from
an asterisk because he
if
may
you
not
think
even
about it,
deserve
Trash
to be on there. Okay.
Trash is one of his best albums, and it came out during that era, so I'd probably put him higher. Y&T, I did see. They're really good too. Y&T can stay where they are, but I think some people would argue that they should probably be.
I've heard of Mr. Big. I don't know if they need to be higher or lower. But
Mr. Big is fantastic.
They're good.
They had their biggest song was "To Be With You."
Yeah.
But they had "Addicted to That Rush." They had "Addicted to That Rush" is awesome. The problem with Mr. Big was they got pigeonholed into this like. We're this like slow to be with you ballad band.
And
they're not. No, Billy Sheehan on bass is ridiculous. Same with Paul Gilbert on guitar. They were amazing band.
Were they harder or
yeah, they weren't hard as in they were faster, but they weren't like thrash or anything.
But
like
the
that.
To Be With You kind of pigeonholed
everybody just looked at them as the To Be With You band, and they're really not. They're much better than they're very underrated.
So Kix. Is that fair? 38?
Not at all. You saw him. Would you?
I love him. I don't know, but you know more than I mean. I would put Kix higher than Zebra.
I'll be honest with you.
Bang Tango and Helix.
I saw Bang Tango live a couple years ago, opening up for Faster Pussycat. Bang Tango has like one song that everybody knows. Kix at least had, well, in fairness, nationwide, I don't know. But Kix, I think talent-wise is way better.
I feel like Kix is definitely a more of a regional band. Like
I will say, most of these bands.
Okay, good point, Brian. So they're regional then. If two,
and it's not that they weren't good, just
blokes are doing this show in California.
Yeah,
they would know about Kix.
No, I've seen most of the hair bands live, and have most of their catalogs. And I listen to them. So
we know we're in other words,
I personally think Kix would be way higher.
Would our doppelgangers in like Pennsylvania go, Bang Tango should be higher,
I don't think in Pennsylvania. No, Bang Tango is more from California.
Oh, okay, from California.
And I think it was something like Minnesota. I saw a documentary on them recently, or a couple of years ago. But anyway, Bang Tango, I'm not slighting them. I just think
nickname back?
Yeah, it was my nickname back in high school. No, I'm not slighting them. I do think Kix should be higher. Zebra, by the way,
I've never even heard of Zebra.
Zebra had a big following around the Twisted Sister days.
I was big into Twisted Sister.
But Twisted Sister would have opened up for them in clubs.
What?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
They were bigger than Twisted Sister
at the time.
Oh, wow.
So Zebra had a big following in the earlier 80s.
Did anyone steal their songs?
Probably. I don't know Helix, and I don't know Biatch.
I don't know that either.
Honeymoon Suite.
Honeymoon Suite I've heard of.
I did see Brittany Fox.
All right, so this is where I start hearing more of these bands.
So Brittany Fox on number 33, they opened up for Kix as well. When I saw them. So once again, if you're opening up for Kix should be higher.
Kix should be higher than you.
That's how I look at it.
Autograph, I know.
Yeah, Autograph was turn up the radio. That one song. I don't know anybody that said like, man, I really love Autograph though.
Right.
But you love that song. That song's fantastic. Crocus.
What's that?
Crocus has a weird underground follow. They do have a lot of followers.
Okay.
I was never a Crocus fan, but they do have a bunch of followers.
Now this is okay. Now the top 30. This is where you're getting to the point where almost everybody knows their name.
Right.
Okay, Great White.
They had one song, like great song.
Once Bitten, Twice Shy, which is a cover, by the way. Most people don't
I didn't
realize
realize it was a cover. And
It's a cover. Their main song is a cover.
It's a cover. I will say, Great White also did an amazing cover of a Led Zeppelin song on their Unplugged.
Which one?
On Unplugged. Can you look it up, Brian? Because I'm having a brain fart at the moment. It was Great White Unplugged Led Zeppelin song. Just put Led Zeppelin. It was what was it?
There it is.
Babe, I'm gonna leave you.
Yeah, Babe, I'm gonna leave you. Oh my God, it's one of the best.
Oh, I have to check it out.
It is so good. It's
I like
so
myself some Def Leppard.
It's so good.
Not Def Leppard. I mean,
no. So it's so good. Great White, the Once Bitten album is fantastic from start to finish.
Okay.
They had an album called Hooked that was also really good. So I actually like Great White. I don't like the fact that they split off and now there's two different Great Whites.
I like the fact that they named their albums, with the little pun intended there.
Yeah. But so Jack Russell is now doing Jack Russell's Great White, and then there's the other Great White people, which Jack Russell's Great White I think just played the Tally Ho or is about to. So I actually want to go.
Oh my God.
So 29, Winger.
Everybody knows Winger.
Winger, yeah, everybody knows Winger.
Do they have a few hits or is it just one?
No, they had
only
Madeline, 17. I watched a documentary.
Oh, I like 17.
I watched a documentary on Winger, and I was like, you don't know what a struggle it took for Kip Winger to get off the ground. Like, he's one of those dudes that got turned down from everywhere.
And then how did he get his hit? How did he make it big?
Till finally somebody, I think it was they listened to it blindly and didn't say it was Winger.
Oh, okay.
And then the radio guy was like, oh, this is great, because there was a producer that kept, and the guy was like, dude, don't give me another Winger album.
Yeah, no, I don't want any more Winger songs.
So they kind of sent it in blindly, and then the guy's like, this is fantastic. Who is it? It's Winger, So they really, I think, were better than people think.
Give them credit for. Okay.
Beavis and Butthead really did kind of screw them.
Because they made fun of Winger.
Because the nerd guy wore the Winger shirt and Stewart or whatever. Vixen.
Vixen. I don't know about that. I know.
Vixen, it's the all-female version.
Oh, yes.
All-female hair band. They had like a couple songs. Edge of a Broken Heart was definitely their biggest one.
Are they better than Kix?
No chance. Not at all. I don't think so.
Are they better than Enough's Enough?
I don't think so. They deserve their place in the world because they were literally like one of the only all-female rock bands
at that time.
And they do bring it. If you see them live, they do a good show, but they're not Kix.
Okay, they're not Kix. Oh, here we go. Slaughter,
Up All Night, Sleep All Day. Basically, one great album. Start to finish, the Stick It To You album.
Sometimes that's all you need to get in the top 50.
The one great album. The rest of their stuff sucks. And if you've
seen them,
yeah, I've seen them live. Not that good. Not that good live. Very disappointing. Mark Slaughter does not sound good live.
He named the band after himself.
Yeah, why not? He was actually
Van Halen named a band after
he
themselves.
was actually a member of Vinnie Vincent Invasion, and he left Vinnie Vincent Invasion and became Slaughter.
People think of other names like Van Halen names himself after the. I mean, just happens to be a really cool.
Well, if you think about it, you would be in a band called Mooney.
No, I wouldn't. I wouldn't name my band called Mooney.
I would call your band Mooney. I'd be like, "What up, Mooney?"
You can create your own band and call it Mooney.
You just put some like umlauts over the O's and look satanic. It'd be awesome. I think it would be your thing.
You love umlauts.
I love umlauts.
I'm naming my band Umlauts.
Yeah,
that's what I'm
umlauts
naming.
would just be satanic umlauts.
That's the name of my band.
Yes.
Satanic umlauts.
That'd be awesome.
Loudness I haven't heard of.
Well, you can't skip Europe.
Yeah, you can't skip Europe. So Europe,
I didn't mean to do that.
Europe is known for Carrie and the Final Countdown. Europe still sounds amazing now.
Yeah, I like Europe.
Definitely go check out clips of them performing now. They still sound great. And so you can't just for like you got to give them love, so good on them.
Loudness, I don't know.
Loudness is from Japan.
Really?
Yeah, they're
I don't remember them.
Correct, can you look them up again? They're Japanese. If I'm correct, it's a Japanese hair band.
No.
They're not Japanese. Is it? Yeah,
yeah, Japanese metal.
Japanese heavy. See?
Yeah.
I think
Boom.
I'm turning Japanese.
Yeah, you're right.
Thank you. Yeah, they're big. They're big in Japan. Yeah, and so I can't I don't really own much of their discography. Do they sing in Japanese?
I mean, do they sing?
No, they sing in English.
Okay.
At least from what I heard, there was English, but they may have some Japanese songs. But they're like they're like the baby metal and the bandmaids of the hair band in Japan. Striper. They're playing the Tally Ho. They're playing the Tally Ho.
Are you going?
I want to.
Oh my God.
To hell with the devil. No, but Striper in a weird sort of way always came off very corny to me, but the lead singer's voice is ridiculous.
So he's got a good. Maybe they just don't choose the right songs or write the right songs.
No, like their song, honestly, I think was their big ballad, which I loved. I don't like to be honest with you, I didn't like their heavier songs.
Okay.
But the lead singer, I saw him do a cover of Boston's Piece of the Pie, and he sounds identical to Boston.
Wow.
So good. He could be in a Boston cover band and probably make more money than going to see Striper. But I wouldn't they're very talented. I just at the time they came off corny to me.
Yeah, I never liked their yellow and black striped.
The yellow and black attack.
Yeah, it was just weird.
Is that what they called them? Yellow and black.
It was like to hell with the devil, which everything else is like devil.
Sabotage.
Sabotage doesn't deserve to be ahead of Kix or Enough's Enough or whatever. They do have a following. They do have a fan base.
Why are they so high? Is there any reason why anyone would put them that high?
I don't know. I think whoever wrote this probably feels the way I feel about Kix with Sabotage.
Okay.
Probably. And so they're probably just going, hey, let's give them their due.
I don't even know any of their songs.
Yeah, but to be up ahead of Europe and whatever.
Yeah, in my opinion, they shouldn't be. And folks, if you're a big Sabotage fan, write in and let us know what it is.
I don't know if we're gonna get any write-ins on that.
No, I think the biggest complaint I have on this
Tesla should be way higher.
They have Tesla at 22.
Awful.
Tesla, in my opinion, Tesla should be top 5.
Way higher.
Top 5.
Way higher.
Tesla should be top 5.
It's inadmissible to have them anything lower than 10, but I agree, top 5.
I say top 5, and honestly, even if you put them,
you couldn't even publish a list if you have them outside the top 10.
Even if you put them at number 1, it wouldn't be right, but I wouldn't be mad at you. I wouldn't argue.
They're like that one live album they put out was amazing. They have 5-Man Acoustical Jam,
hits.
So good.
No, but 5-Man Acoustical Jam was fantastic. But if you think about it, they've been putting out songs.
Agreed.
They've got a few. They've got something called Reel to Reel. Mm-hmm. There's 2 versions of it, and where it's them doing cover songs, and it's amazing.
They got tons of hits.
Yeah, I personally think so. Tesla should be easily top 5.
Yeah.
Night Ranger is one of those bands that they have they have a decent following. They've been touring forever.
Do they still tour?
They still tour. They play.
Oh my God!
They played the State Theater. Probably, I know this summer.
Did anyone go? Did they sell any tickets?
Apparently, people love them live.
Sister Christian was a good song.
Sister Christian, you can't sleep on.
Oh, that's a good song. You're right.
Everybody just wants to go motoring.
Yeah.
What?
So they go to they pay $35, $40 so they can go. And I'm motoring.
I would just the one song. I honestly though, from what I understand, they do a great job. From what I hear, they're still fantastic live. I don't know any of their other songs.
They have to have some other hits if they're this high.
But Sister Christian is such a banger. come on, Sister Christian is what you think of when you think of
Yeah.
like, okay, L.A. Guns. What number is L.A. Guns?
20.
20. All right.
I love L.A. Guns. L.A. Guns.
I'm assuming you've seen them live.
Yes, the Cocked and Loaded album with Ballad of Jane is fantastic. Ballad of Jane is what got me into them.
Okay.
But their album that came out after that album, Hollywood Vampires, fantastic from start to finish. They even have a song. One of their songs is in Point Break off of that album.
Really?
Yep.
That's what's the song? You remember? No?
It starts. I'd have to see the track listing, but I know it if I could. I can't sing it though. But it starts off with this like Asian like wong whatever. Can you find the track listing for Hollywood Vampires?
That's the name of the album, Hollywood Vampires.
It's so good. Crystallize.
Or
no, it's Over the Edge. I'm sorry.
I
think it's Over the Edge is the one that's on Point Break.
Right.
But Hollywood LA Guns came from, Guns N' Roses came from LA Guns and Hollywood Roses, the two different bands.
Really? Oh, is that why they're named Guns N' Roses?
So Tracy,
I had no idea.
Tracy Guns is from LA Guns.
A nice sub fact for people.
There you go.
So Hollywood Roses and what? LA Guns?
Axl Rose was in Hollywood Roses.
Okay.
And then Tracy Guns was in LA Guns.
Okay.
Tracy Guns didn't go to Guns N' Roses, but it was it's how as they were forming.
Okay, got it.
So it was basically the formation. That's how Guns N' Roses got their name.
Okay.
Faster Pussycat, I saw them a few years ago. House of Pain was really their biggest hit. Nonstop to Nowhere is a great song. Poison Ivy is a great song. Their cover of You're So Vain is fantastic.
Love that tune. I'm gonna have to listen to that.
Faster Pussycat's very underrated. I think they should have gotten more credit where credit was due. Should they be 19 though, above some of the others? Probably not.
Not above Tesla.
No, definitely not above Tesla. But I'm not mad at their positioning. Let's just say
Quiet Riot. They're phenomenal.
Yeah, but they stole
Slade. They stole two songs from Slade.
Right, but still, man, they still have some good songs.
No, but if you look at
they sang them.
Look at can you name any other Quiet Riot songs other than the two songs that they took from Slade?
Bang Your Head.
Okay, can you do another one? No one can. The whole point
I don't
is
even see that on their list.
It's called Mental Health.
Oh, okay.
It's Bang Your Head. Mental Health will drive you. So yeah, no one knows any more Quiet Riot songs.
Stay With Me Tonight. I know that one.
Other than Come On Feel the Noise and Mama We're All Crazy Now, which are Slade songs. So should they be at 18?
No,
Tesla.
You're right. No, definitely not ahead of Tesla.
Way better. Okay.
I mean, but they did entertain, right? I mean, they did sing those songs really well.
I saw them do it acoustically live. I saw them live acoustic style.
That's crazy.
So I don't want to sleep on Quiet Riot. R.I.P. every member of the band. Actually, it's only Frankie Benali, the drummer, and Kevin Dubrow. But the Quiet Riot, there is a Quiet Riot currently touring. Not one single member was ever in the original band. No. So anyway, Dokken, they suckin'. Dokken, I saw Dokken live. They're average at best. They had the Nightmare on Elm Street song, which is awesome.
Well, why are they so high?
I think people
they're not good live, and they don't have many good songs.
Well, people, I think Dokken hit at a moment where people just they fell for, like George Lynch with Dokken was a good combination, and until he went off to do Lynch Mob and all that stuff. But Dokken, they just put out something, and the video was just awful. It was embarrassingly bad. It looked like it was shot with the same cameras they do porn on. It was just embarrassing. I'm like, come on, Dokken, do you really need it? Like,
well, how much money do they have? They probably tore through whatever.
Probably not much. Okay. Number 16.
White Lion, solid.
White Lion is highly underrated. People think of them for Little Fighter, and they did a cover Radar Love. White Lion's whole discography, fantastic from start to finish.
Yeah, I mean, White Lion,
I don't even remember this band.
their hits.
I would say White Lion has the
music ability.
White Lion has one of the most underrated guitar players ever. Vito Bratta is ridiculous.
You talked about him before.
Yeah, and he's like retired, does not ever want to come back, doesn't want to do his thing. So Mike Tramp, the lead singer, is going around doing Mike Tramp singing White Lion songs. He still sounds great too, but like Vito Bratta is a ridiculous guitar player, and it shows in those albums. So
wow,
definitely
nice.
check out White Lion's whole discography. 15,
Lita Ford.
Lita Ford doesn't like. I love Lita. I love, Kiss Me Deadly. It's the same thing I'm going to say about Quiet Riot.
Okay.
You outside of Kiss Me Deadly and Close My Eyes Forever, in the Runaways stuff, can you think of anything else that Lita Ford's done?
I can't.
She's really
high on this list, though.
Yeah,
I have no idea
she's
why.
She's too high on the list. And don't get me wrong, I love Lita Ford. I'm a big fan of her, but I don't think she deserves to be at 15. I think she should be. There's other bands.
Not ahead of White Lion.
No. But Kix. Like Lita Ford, everybody knows who she is, though, so that's why she's
getting credit for the
in Europe?
The Runaways.
The Runaways.
Yeah, but if you think about it, she didn't. I don't think she wrote anything for the Runaways, and she really wasn't.
Again, I think she's getting credit for being in the Runaways.
Yeah, but what I'd say is she's probably the weakest member of the.
I'm not disagreeing with you. I don't think she should be 15.
Yeah, I just think
who were the Runaways?
Joan Jett, which Joan Jett.
I know Joan Jett.
Sherry Curry was the lead singer, and then Lita Ford was the guitar player, alongside with Joan Jett. I can't think of who I don't remember the drummer's name though. But Joan Jett, Sherry Curry, and Lita Ford are really the only ones you need to know. The other ones aren't really. Who is it? Sandy West and Jackie Fox. Yeah, no one knows who they are.
Didn't they do a movie about that, The Runaways?
They did. It was
it was really good. I
didn't like it.
You didn't like it?
No.
You don't like Casey though.
I don't like her.
Oh, okay.
Casey.
So Warrant.
Warrant solid
for 2 albums.
Yeah, but I mean
they're better than some of the other bands that were close to them.
Agreed.
They were in the limelight for a while.
Yeah,
there.
I can't argue. And I saw them before.
They sing one of the most popular songs ever.
I will say,
I saw Warrant. Yeah, they definitely deserve their placement. I can't argue that.
Is good.
The thing about their
Heaven
guitarist was like not a very technically good guitarist.
The whole band was not technically good, but they pulled it off.
That was the weird thing about them. Like he would play a solo, and it would be like it would be like maybe 2 bars of music, and then that was it.
They got there because Janie Lane had a look.
Yeah, that's what it was. It was the look.
Technically, they're not that good, but Heaven is a great. You can't sleep on Heaven.
Heaven, right? I mean, Down Boys.
Down Boys.
Oh yes, they got how many hits?
Yeah. So Dirty, Rotten, Filthy, Stinking Rich. That song alone.
But that's what I'm saying. They have so many hits. You've got to put them up there.
Yeah, the first 2 albums were really, really good, and it dropped off dramatically.
Yeah, but they owned the spotlight for at least a couple of years.
I saw them before I saw Janie Lane. I saw Warrant before Janie Lane died, probably a couple months before he died, and he looked awful. Looked like going balding, sweaty, like really bad mascara, all that
drugs
stuff.
Are bad.
Still sounded good though. I'm not gonna lie, still sounded good. I was like, okay, doesn't look like, but it still sounded good. I can't argue. So
Whitesnake, they sing one of my favorite songs ever. So
yeah, Whitesnake is. I think the thing with Whitesnake is they're so old, like legendary, like because think about it, Whitesnake was around in the early 70s, I think.
Yeah. And here I go again. Is just again, it's like the Sister Christian song. I mean, it's a song you think of when you think of like hair bands.
Exactly. And same with like Is This Love?
Right.
It's Still in the Night.
Cool album cover though.
Still the Night's a great one. For me, I was never a big Whitesnake fan. I like the videos, Tawny Katane, who wouldn't like that, but I was never like the guy who's buying everything Whitesnake puts out.
Right.
Kix did open up for Whitesnake on that.
Oh, that must have been a good show.
Tour. No, in 90, I think it was a tour in like.
Was it
90.
a good show?
I didn't go see that one.
See
Steve Vai was playing with Whitesnake at the time, which would have been an amazing show. But I can't argue their placement because I know they have a huge following.
W.A.S.P.
just played the Tally Ho in the spring.
Really?
Yeah, they were celebrating. I wanted to go, but nobody would go with me. They were celebrating, I think, 40 years or 50 years. 40. I think it's 40 years. No, but the thing is, Blackie Lawless has basically admitted to lip syncing on stage, like piped in vocals and stuff.
Oh, okay.
And so I did talk to somebody at the Tally Ho, and he was telling me how the W.A.S.P. show was amazing. It was so awesome. So I want to be.
Does W.A.S.P. stand for anything? I don't even know.
White Anglo-Saxon Protestant.
Oh, really?
I don't know what it means for the band, but that's what it means in normal life.
Oh, okay.
But I Want to Be Somebody is such a great song. You can't argue that. I'm not that big of a W.A.S.P. fan, so
that's high for them, I think.
For me, I wouldn't put them up there, but a lot of other people
put them ahead of Whitesnake.
No, but a lot of other people would.
Okay.
So
why does Def Leppard get an asterisk?
So Def Leppard gets an asterisk because they're technically considered the new wave of British heavy metal. So when Iron Maiden came over, it was actually an interesting story. There's a manager who had the choice, or a booking agent or whatever. And he was basically saying, his record company was like, look, you can only pick one of these bands to go through, Def Leppard or Iron Maiden. And he chose Iron Maiden to work with. Def Leppard, they did, so anyway, they got packaged into the new wave of British heavy metal. What they did was Iron Maiden stayed with that heavy metal, whereas Def Leppard transitioned from like Pyromania on, transitioned into the hair
band.
And Iron Maiden didn't. So that's where
Iron Maiden definitely did not.
So they get an asterisk because of the fact that they
started off one way.
Yeah. So if you go back and listen to like
detoured.
Yeah, if you listen to the first two Def Leppard albums, they're fantastic, but they're also not as poppy.
Right. So they're not. Yeah. Because Def Leppard gets a little bit ballady.
Oh yeah. But you go back and listen to like High and Dry and stuff. It's awesome.
Top 10.
Cinderella. I can't argue with them in the top 10.
Can't argue it.
I love Cinderella.
Yeah, I mean, Cinderella's for me. They're a really good band.
Yeah, Shake Me, Nobody's Fool.
I've listened to their songs tons of times.
Gypsy Road.
They have enough songs that I'm not angry. Yeah. I've seen Tom Kiefer live, TK as we call him.
Oh, TK.
TK plays the Tally Ho as well, and
why not get a Cinderella sticker instead of a TK sticker?
You should always get a Cinderella, because he plays, when you go see him live, he plays, the vast majority of his set is Cinderella songs.
Oh, okay.
And I will tell you this, that dude's voice is still awesome. And he has had vocal cord issues over the years and stuff like that, but he still brings it. Like, when you see him live at whatever his age is now,
I'm gonna have to check him out next time.
He is so good live.
All right. Does he ever get to the Tally or?
Yeah, I saw him. He's been there twice now. I got a picture that there's a picture on the wall that I took. Yeah, right above the Cinderella signed album, is the picture of Tom Kiefer I took from the Tally Ho.
Okay.
Boom. So I love Cinderella.
I'll have to go see
my
him.
wife's a big fan, so she follows him on Facebook. She would have Cinderella at number 2 on this list, 1 or 2 on this list. Okay, so number 9 is Kiss with an asterisk. Once again, Kiss is hard rock, I get, or rock.
Okay, so they're not hair band.
And you could even argue that they had the disco album, so it's kind of like,
I love Kiss. I am enthralled with Kiss. Like their discography is unreal.
Look, that's the same reason why Alice Cooper and Def Leppard have an asterisk.
Okay.
Kiss, they turned into the hair band with the Hot in the Shade album and the Lick It Up and all that stuff. So
I'm putting Kiss above Rat. I no disrespect to Rat.
So Rat is weird enough. I saw Rat.
Round and round.
I've seen Rat live, and Rat's fan base, they have a much bigger fan base than I would have thought. But people will tell you, a lot of the people who love like hair bands and whatnot, they will speak to Rat Detonator as being one of the greatest hair band albums of all time.
Really? Which one's Detonator? Show me the album.
Detonator. It's a great album. Don't get me wrong. And that's not the one with Round and Round on it. That one has, I think, Loving You Is a Dirty Job. Came out in 90. I think, if I'm correct.
Oh, that's the album cover. I don't know if I've ever owned that one.
Yeah, I have it. I have their whole.
I have the one with the chick.
Yeah, the one with Round and Round on it.
Yep.
Yeah, Out of the Cellar. But Detonator, I think a lot of it was written by what's his name? It's the guy who basically helped write a lot of, like, he co-writes with like Aerosmith and Bon Jovi and all these people, and he wrote some of the stuff too. So it was a big album for them. So a lot of people love Detonator.
All right. So Rat deserves to be there.
Desmond Child, that's it. Desmond Child that dude is nothing but a hit machine. Like, if you look at Desmond Child's like Wikipedia,
he's like John Hughes for the movies.
This dude, if you look at all he works with not only hair bands, but like all pop people and stuff. You look at all his songs that he was a part of, and you're just like, oh my God, this dude has literally wrote the soundtrack to your life. It's crazy.
That is a cool fact.
Yeah. Okay. So
awesome.
Brian's pulling it up, right? He's got Dude Looks Like a Lady, Angel from And What It Takes.
My God. Crazy is an awesome song.
So that's just Aerosmith alone. Then he's got
Clay Aiken,
but Sebastian Bach. He's got people from Meatloaf.
Which one's from Meatloaf?
He's got a bunch from Meatloaf.
Monsters Loose.
But Michael Bolton.
What about
Biff Naked? He's got Alana Miles, Vince Neil, Bon Jovi. Look at the Bon Jovis.
Wow. You Give Love a Bad Name. Living on a Prayer?
Yeah.
Basically all their best songs.
No, but here's for the record, he co-wrote.
Right.
John and Richie also wrote on those too. So,
but he helped. I mean, that's amazing.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Oh my God, for Rat, Giving Yourself Away.
But Loving You's a Dirty Job.
Wow.
Shame. But LeAnn Rimes, he's got Cher. He's
holy cow, this guy's a stud.
Chicago, Kelly Clarkson.
Dude, this guy is
Poison from Alice Cooper. Look at that.
Stud.
So if you look at the Alice Cooper Trash album, that's basically the whole album.
Holy cow, this guy's got hit after hit.
Dude, Desmond Child doesn't stop. That dude just writes.
God.
Like, look at the Scorpions he's got.
Let's see, does he...
Ace Frehley.
Wow.
Shakira, Billy Squier.
Paul Stanley.
Yeah.
Hall & Oates.
Yeah. He's got a bunch.
Hanson.
Wow, this is insane. The amount of songs.
Joan Jett songs.
Look at Joan Jett.
I Hate Myself for Loving You.
Unfathomable.
Yeah, look at Joan Jett.
Dude, I hate keep using movie references. It's the only thing I have. But it's like Jason
Kiss.
Blum in horror.
I Was Made for Loving You, Desmond Child.
That is one of their best songs.
That's what I'm saying. Like, look at all the Kiss songs.
Wow. I love Kiss, too.
So this dude doesn't suck when it comes to writing.
He wrote a song for Weezer. Wow.
Yeah. This dude gets work.
This guy's a maniac.
He's awesome. Desmond Child, but Desmond Child gets credit like that. He heavily influenced the Detonator album. Okay. 7, Skid Row.
Totally agree.
In my opinion, had 2 amazing albums, start to finish, and then Subhuman Race just sucked complete balls, and they've sucked since. Their new lead singer is awesome.
The albums that are
Sebastian.
good, the 2 first albums?
Yeah, Skid Row and then Slave to the Grind. Both of them awesome.
So good.
Sebastian was one of the best frontmen you could possibly have. He has since not become the best frontman. You know, they fired him a long time ago, and they've had a couple different singers since. But Eric Gronwald, the new guy, is so good. Like, I highly recommend. Skid Row, unfortunately, just had to cancel some tour dates because Eric Gronwald had leukemia or something, and he's survived it. He was on like the Swedish American Idol or something, like America's Got Talent, and that's kind of how they found him.
Okay.
But anyway, he sounds so good. So if you get a chance to see Skid Row,
because the new singer is good.
Go see him because he's worth it.
Okay. This has to.
Okay,
Sting.
This is what's painful. They have Bon Jovi at number 6, which makes no sense at all.
Right.
By the way, if it were not for Bon Jovi, you would not have Skid Row. You would not have Cinderella. And the reason why I say this is because Bon Jovi found them.
So they're ranked lower or higher than them, so that's fine.
But
my point.
Twisted Sister being ranked higher than Bon Jovi?
I think Bon Jovi should be number 4.
Because what I'm looking at.
Okay, are then you putting Hanoi Rocks, which is at 4?
I don't know why Hanoi Fox is at 5, or Hanoi Rocks is even in the top 20. I don't.
I'll play that same. I'll play that same game with Twisted Sister. I love Twisted Sister. Don't get me wrong.
You know I'm one of Twisted Sister's biggest fans.
Twisted Sister had "Stay Hungry" as their album.
Yeah, that was it.
They had other albums outside of that, but
none of them were as good.
Nobody, Leader of the Pack is garbage. We can all agree. So "Stay Hungry" was the only album that anybody even knows or anybody had. On that album, most people can only name 2 songs, maybe 3, Burn in Hell, because on Pee-wee's Big Adventure. And I love Dee Snider and I love Twisted Sister. But if we're talking national people listening and you just polled anybody, they're going to know.
I wouldn't know the name of the song, but as soon as it came on, I could sing it.
People would know The Price too. Love The Price. But what I'm saying is you then go, hey, tell me a Bon Jovi song. People are going to go from Slippery When Wet to New Jersey. They would know a ton of their hits. The Faith.
I agree. Bon Jovi.
I'm not disagreeing here. I think Bon Jovi should be ranked higher.
I know I'm personally biased, but once again, using that same argument, I would argue that Bon Jovi would be higher than 4, which you just said that they should be. I'd have them at number 1. If they had an asterisk, I would understand, because Bon Jovi is technically. They were hair at the time, but not now.
Let's get into why Hanoi Rocks is on this list.
Well, Michael Monroe from Hanoi Rocks was more influential than people would think. A lot of bands were influenced by Hanoi Rocks.
I just don't remember any of these songs.
My thing is influence shouldn't get you that high. Influence can get you the top 20.
I agree with you.
Maybe 2019, but not top 10.
I agree with you. I don't think Hanoi Rocks should be this high, but it's straight off of influence. It's the trendy, it's the cool thing to say, I really like Michael Monroe's
I don't know a single song by Hanoi Rocks.
And the one thing I knew about Hanoi Rocks was Vince Neil killed their drummer in a drunken car accident.
Right. Oh my god.
But other than that, I've not been a fan of their music, but
I don't even know them.
But the influence.
Do they still play?
I think they do, but once again,
where do they play? The library?
Either that or they're working on a reunion or something. I always hear Hanoi, they're very influential. But
do they go to high school Battle of the Bands contest?
No. They're, like I said, they're there's a lot of people, and they were prominently mentioned recently in the piece. What was it? The John Cena show?
Okay.
Peacemaker.
All right, we're top 3 now. Top 3. Obviously, Bon Jovi should be in here, but they're not.
Yes.
Top 3. Here we go.
Poison is number 3. If we're talking solo hair bands, I can't argue.
I'm not arguing Poison at 3 at all.
I don't know how you can argue any of the top 3.
Because they were the epitome of hair band.
They were.
So you can't, there's no asterisk needed for Poison. You knew what you were getting, and they were strictly.
They have several hits.
So here's what I'm going to say about the top 3. So I haven't shown the top 2 yet. I think the top 3, when I think of hair bands, crazy, just drunken, debauchery, party. It's these 3 bands, 100%. Bon Jovi, I recognize as a hair band, and I get it, but they're not in the same group as these bands.
My argument.
That's fair. That's a good analysis.
No, I agree with you.
Solid there.
My argument for this list is I think Bon Jovi should have an asterisk because
I would agree with that.
Bon Jovi made a clear
outstanding
effort.
Point. Asterisk all the way.
Bon Jovi made a clear
good asterisk, not a bad asterisk.
Yeah, like if you're talking like 1990, Bon Jovi made a clear effort to not be a hair band. When you go see, like, that's the reason why they're still selling out arenas and stadiums today, because they
changed
they
their,
changed,
they did a paradigm shift, if you will.
Yeah, if anything, they went more Bruce Springsteen-esque,
and that was solid move for them.
So I think they should have an asterisk, but because if you're talking like hits and you're talking album sales, Bon Jovi should clearly be much
we've
higher.
already been over that point. So
agreed. But what I'm just saying. So yeah, I agree. Poison.
No, we didn't. That was done before we did the show, Brian.
Yeah, we did. Poison is the epitome of hair band.
Yeah. Poison is. I mean, they have so many good albums, start to finish. They have
3. They have, but
only
it was
3.
It was all during that time. If you look with the cat,
Flesh and Blood.
Look what the cat dragged in the first one.
Okay.
Flesh and Blood, and then you had
Open Up and
Say Ah.
And those are the only 3. Okay.
Yeah, because after that they did.
But those 3 albums.
Well, they also
had,
which ones you said? Flesh and Blood,
What?
Open Up, Say Ah, and Look at the Cat Dragged. Yeah, correct.
Yeah.
Okay, that's it.
So
all right.
no, but then they
because
after that they ended up.
I embellished a little bit there.
After that they did Native Tongue, which was kind of
I didn't know
it
that
wasn't that great, and then they just trailed off from there. But if you think about it, those 3
made
albums,
a career off 3 albums.
Yeah, those 3 albums, and if you think about it, they came out in like I think it was like 86 or 85. So
yeah,
they hit like 86
to 88 to 90.
80. Yeah, that run just come on.
They're still running them.
Yeah, you can't deny that.
Yeah.
So good on them.
So number 2 is Guns N' Roses with an asterisk.
They get an asterisk and Bon Jovi doesn't get an asterisk. That's what pisses me off. And if you think about it,
consider Guns N' Roses a hair.
They absolutely were.
They absolutely were. They
really?
were 100% Sunset Strip.
But
absolutely.
are they? But I don't. I thought more. I considered them more rock than.
No, they were.
They're a hair band.
No,
okay.
you can. Yeah, there. If you actually see earlier pictures, Axl's hair's teased up like.
No! I know they had the hair, but I'm just.
They fit the bill.
Like I would consider. Like, how come Aerosmith doesn't make this list?
And that's the thing. Aerosmith should be on it with an asterisk.
Right,
because
but that's my point is,
Aerosmith made a point.
I consider Guns N' Roses more like Aerosmith, in my opinion.
I don't think they're anything alike.
Yeah, I don't
really
see it. No, I think Guns N' Roses. Well, actually, you could make a case. Guns N' Roses opened up for Aerosmith quite a few times back in the day, but you could make a case, to Mooney's point, you could make a case that Aerosmith's songs were sex, drugs, and rock and roll. Same with Guns N' Roses. Guns N' Roses did have ballads, so did Aerosmith. I would argue that Aerosmith should be on the list, but with an asterisk, because they did in the 80s go towards the hairband realm.
Somewhat.
So
I think they were from a different, like the earlier time though period, and not that. Might
Kiss was too.
Right.
Kiss is on there with an asterisk. I think
I'm putting Kiss much higher on my list.
No, but if you're talking,
Kiss is in my top 10.
If we're talking 1980s Kiss, though, is that like think about
overall? Kiss is
no, but so I guess that's where does the asterisk come in because of the 80s? Like, are we talking?
I don't
like
care
if we're talking
about the
70s?
asterisk. I'm not putting any asterisks. I'm gonna just put Kiss in my top 10. I am.
Okay.
Well, true.
By the way, let's get to Motley Crue.
Motley Crue's number 1.
Crue is deservedly number 1.
They have to be.
Way deserved.
Yeah, from a hairband perspective, you can't deny. I can't
no
deny
asterisk. Motley Crue,
and they defined the Sunset Strip, the sex, drugs, and rock and roll. They personified it.
So many good albums.
Honestly, the interesting, as much as I love Motley Crue,
3 albums, 4.
They don't have many albums that are start to finish good. They have a lot of good songs on different albums. But I would argue that Dr. Feelgood from start to finish
love Dr. Feelgood.
Is fantastic.
It's my favorite Motley Crue album.
But I challenge people, go back to and I would say also Shout at the Devil is pretty good from start to finish. But if you go to Theater of Pain's not a good album. Home Sweet Home is amazing, and Smoking in the Boys Room helped get him noticed too from an MTV perspective. But outside of those 2 songs, that album is garbage. Then Girls, 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 outside of, Wild Side and Girls, Girls, Girls.
I do like Wild Side.
The rest of those are amazing songs, but the rest of those
you make a good point.
albums not that good.
Okay, so they sprinkled good songs onto each album.
Yes, and I think for me that's always been. I've seen Motley Crue live probably 10 times. Love them. They're great live. They're fun because you're going to hear all those songs. But when you actually go to listen to a Motley Crue album from start to finish, Dr. Feelgood's the only one that I can do that with and feel good about it.
All right, I'm not pushing any of those top 3 down. I'm keeping the top 3 where they are. I'll bump. I would bump Bon Jovi to 4. I'll keep Twisted Sister at 5.
I don't think Twisted Sister deserves to be in the top 10, to be honest with you.
I love Twisted Sister.
I know you do, but
I'm voting for Skid Row at number 5.
Yeah.
I would put Kiss at like 6. And you know me, I don't know as much.
I think
as
we got to put Def
like,
Leppard at 7.
7, Def Leppard 7. Mm-hmm. You could put Cindy at 8. I might put Warren at 9, to be honest. I'm stopping at 10.
I think
you're not even going to put Tesla in the.
I would pull Tesla down.
Never mind. Bump everybody down and put Tesla at 4. No, 5. Put Tesla at 5.
I'd put them after Skid Row, but maybe. No, I'd put them at 5.
No, okay, yeah. I would put Tesla at 5. 6 is, yeah, you can keep Skid Row at 6. 7 Kiss, 8 Def Leppard, 9 Twisted Sister, 10 Cinderella. That's just me.
What, you have 2 9s. Okay.
Twisted Sister.
I really don't.
I don't care which one you put.
I don't hate your list that much, to be honest with you. I think the only thing that I would change is probably I would keep kind of the same bands. I would take as much as I love Twisted Sister, I wouldn't have them in the top 10.
I don't think so either.
You put it in the top 10 instead of them.
I think if I put me personally, I'd probably put White Lion, but
okay.
But
I'm not so
like if it was my personal bands.
I mean, you don't have Kix in the top 10. Like what?
No, I guess my thing is, am I speaking for me or am I speaking for what the overall society should? If I'm doing,
should be in top 15.
Well, we're not going to redo the whole list.
No, I don't want to go to 15.
No, here's the thing. I would keep Motley.
You would bump Twisted Sister out.
I would keep Motley Crue and Poison in the spots that they're in. No, actually, I would put Poison probably number 2, only because we're talking straight up hair bands.
Okay,
I would agree with that.
You're bumping. Where were you putting at 3?
And I would put
Jovi at 3.
I would put Jovi at 3.
I wouldn't.
Strictly no, but if you think about it, like even blowing up MTV as much as they did, I'm
fine with Jovi at 3.
I think Guns N' Roses is more of a hair band than Bon Jovi, but that's just me. But we can move it. You guys agree? That's the rule, right?
Yeah,
I'm fine with that. I'm not sold on.
And honestly, I just switched places. Put Guns N' Roses at 4. I don't have an issue with that.
Or I wouldn't argue Tesla at 4, GNR at 5. I wouldn't argue it.
And
I'm not moving Guns N' Roses down anymore.
I would be okay. I would be okay with that because if you think, okay, playing the same.
You hear Biscuit? Yeah. Biscuit's like, no way.
Playing the same game though, right? Appetite for Destruction is arguably one of the greatest albums ever done.
Yes. Use Your Illusion 1 and 2 are good.
Good, not great.
But
once again, it's Spaghetti Incident sucks. Chinese Democracy blows. So they have one.
Are they really they had the Patience album. What was that?
Lies. Lies is a great album.
Lies is an EP. Does that count?
I think it counts.
Okay, once again,
it had 8 songs.
Yeah, let's go to Lies. Okay, Lies. The first 3 songs or whatever are covers that nobody listened to. You go right to Patience, and then you go to.
I love
fantastic.
Lies. That is a great album. I still listen.
Did you
to
listen to it from start to
Yes,
finish?
Lies
I
is
do.
probably my favorite album.
Okay.
I mean, maybe Appetite's better, but Lies would be
Appetite
second.
is 100%.
It's better,
Okay,
but I don't knock Lies. I like Lies, and
Appetite's
I like
first, then
both.
Lies.
I like both Use Your Illusion albums too.
Pull up the Lies.
You don't like from start to finish.
I do.
Start to finish. Like
I do.
you're like can't
pull
wait
up
to,
Lies album. First, I want to know the track on Lies.
But anyway, you're gonna listen to.
love
You're
that
gonna
album.
go. Oh, can I hear Coma one more time?
I'm telling you, I like the album.
No, you don't.
I do. So let's look at the playlist.
Right Next Door to Hell is garbage. Dust and Bones, no. Don't Cry is awesome. Bad Obsession's okay. Live and Let Die is okay.
Live and Let Die is fantastic. I know it's a cover, but
Yeah,
it's
but the
still
Paul
an excellent
McCartney
cover.
version's better. It's not
Garden
as,
of
it's
Eden,
not
November
better.
Rain, The Garden.
But come on, Bad Apples.
All right,
Don't
maybe it's
Damn
not as
Me.
good as I remember.
That's what I'm telling you. It's when you go back to some of these things, they're not that good.
Oh, okay. By the way, here's the
So
the
Use Your
Lies
Illusion
album.
2, I like more. I think that's what I'm thinking
Yes,
of. So,
I think everybody
yeah.
likes Use Your
Right,
Illusion
right.
2
'Cause
better.
this is way
but
better.
Get in the Ring, come on. Get in the Ring is a garbage song. At the time, it was provocative because he was calling out different people that don't exist anymore. But anyway,
Knocking on Heaven's
Civil
Door,
War-
14 Years, Yesterday's, Civil War.
Yeah.
Those are all good
Pretty
songs.
Tied Up,
Don't Cry.
Don't
yeah,
Cry, You Could Be Mine.
You Could Be Mine's average at best. But anyway,
No, that's
no.
a solid tune.
you can argue there's 5 songs on that album that you could complete. You've all forgotten
But you
about.
can say that about a lot of albums.
I wouldn't forget about Civil War, Heaven's Door, 14 Years. Yeah. Okay, but yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
1 in a Million.
Great song.
Is a fantastic tune.
You're Crazy, great. Used to Love Her, great. Mama Kin, great. Reckless Life, great.
Dude,
Nice Boys,
Mama
great. Patience Night. Move to the City, awesome album.
Dude,
All
it's
those
an
songs are
awesome
great.
album, dude.
I would argue that most people have not even heard Nice Boys and the Reckless
I
Life and Move to the
love
City.
that album.
I know,
But if you played it, you would be like, "Oh my
No,
god, I totally forgot how good this song was."
Most people skip directly to Patience, and then they go to the Used to Love Her, all the acoustic stuff. That's what people skip to.
Those people are crazy.
I don't know, man. If I would listen to that album start to finish.
And don't get me wrong, Mama Ken is a great cover. I'm okay with it, but like, reality is, most people I think just go right to the acoustic, and that's
all
it.
right. I love it.
And I loved 1 in a Million too. Don't cancel us, folks. But that he wrote it in a time. It was a time.
Right.
But anyway, when you look at Guns N' Roses, you really have to think, okay, it's Appetite for Destruction and
I'm not moving
a
it.
handful of other
He's
songs.
not moving
I'm not moving it.
Biscuit's not moving it.
I love and I'm a big Tesla fan.
You're clearly not that big a
I'm a
Tesla
big
fan
Tesla fan.
because Tesla.
But I there's a special place in my heart for Guns N' Roses. Because
it's hard to put Tesla above GNR. It
Guns
really
N' Roses
is
was one of the first hair bands I listened to.
Okay, you know what? I'll concede.
By the way, that's a.
You know what? I'm not going to argue. Let's just keep.
By the way, that is a tremendous top 5.
Except for top, I don't think Twisted Sister belongs in the top.
It's not. It's not.
Top
Yeah,
10.
he is 9.
Oh, 9. But we'll keep fine.
Well, we can move it. We can adjust. So Skid Row, I think, needs to stay at 6.
I'm okay with that. I think Warrant probably deserves to be over.
Okay,
Twisted
put
Sister.
Warrant instead of Twisted Sister. I'm okay with that.
I think we should. I'd rather have Warrant here.
Okay, that's cool with me.
Yeah. And I don't love Kiss in the top 10, but that's just me.
I don't either because I don't think of them.
If you
as
move
hair.
Kiss out, who are you putting in?
That's the question. I was looking over the rest of the list.
If you moved Kiss, I would.
You can't put Europe or Slaughter or Winger.
I would argue White Lion, or
Night Ranger.
No, actually Rat. Honestly, Rat deserves to. That Rat is straight up. Rat is a straight.
But
up
I don't think
band.
it's 7, or should we move something down?
No, I would put him. I would bump everybody else down and put him at 10.
Yeah, I agree.
Because Rat deserves to be there. They're definitely hairband. They're nothing else but a hairband.
Okay, so 9 and then 10 Rat.
Yep.
All right. So what did we decide? Let's end this. We're gonna end the show. but we're going to give the people the Subfacts.
The Subfacts top 10.
Top 10 hair bands.
So we got it at number 10. We've got Rat. At number 9, we have Cinderella. Number 8, we have Warrant. Number 7, Def Leppard. Number 6 is Skid Row. Number 5 is Tesla. Number 4 is Guns N' Roses.
Number 3 is who?
Bon
Matt,
Jovi.
Matt. Bon Jovi.
Bon Jovi.
Number 2 is Poison, and number 1 is
one in my heart.
So
number 3 in your programs. Number one in your heart.
Number 1 in my heart. By the way, I know we just made the definitive, but where did we put? There was somebody that I was just like, man, how did they not make the top 10? Def Leppard did. Never mind.
Yep.
Okay, good. I was gonna say Def Leppard has to be in there, though. Yeah. Okay.
My band's not. I kicked out Twisted Sister, although I didn't want to.
Yeah, the heart Kix isn't in there, and quite frankly, I love every single Kix album from start to finish, but that's just me.
Okay.
So
all right. I like the list. We did a good job, I think.
Yeah, like if that was a tour, I would.
Oh my God, that would be fantastic.
Oh my gosh, I just saw a playbill for like a Monsters of Rock from like 1990 or 89 or something, and it was like Iron Maiden headlined, then Metallica underneath them, and then Halloween, and then Anthrax, and I was like, why is that show not like now? That would be amazing.
Okay.
So anyway. Folks, you heard it here. If you like hair, this is the one thing I want to stress. This is our top 10, and obviously,
we want to hear from you. If you want to bump any of our top 10, name the band you think needs to be in there.
And if you remotely say Pretty Boy Floyd should be number 1, no, we're gonna call you out. We're gonna call you liars. But no, really, folks. If there's bands that we didn't talk about that we should mention, because there was a ton of bands at that time. Like we did say Bang Tango, but like there's a ton of bands out there that Trickster wasn't even in there, which
That's
I
true.
found out.
What about Mailbag? Do we have any Mailbag?
Oh yeah, we did have Mailbag. Let's do Mailbag really quick. But back to the last thing,
and then we gotta pop the end.
Right in to the show. Let us know if there's any bands we missed. Let us know if our listing is wrong and what your top 10 would be of hair bands. And we'll definitely check them out in the mailbag next week. Or not next week.
Oh, my God.
You
know BK is going to write in with some complaints.
He's going to be so annoyed with me. He always wants to punch me after we do these things.
Oh, does Rush deserve to be in here?
No. Well, Rush is not a hair band. So
okay,
he'd be fine with that. I think he would be on Brian's side with the Guns N' Roses part. Okay. But anyway, let's see. It's time for
Mailbag. Okay, folks, it's time for Mailbag. Mailbag.
All right, we have a mailbag from Sam this week. So first time Sam has written in. Sam writes in. His subject is Commanders, Caps, Wizards. And he says, can we talk about the awesomeness of these 3 teams getting a stadium in Loudoun County, Virginia, and how it would so benefit that area for years to come? And it would
be awful.
He said, thank you.
So Mooney and I both live in Loudoun County. And so it would be basically, for those who are not in the DC metro area, it would be basically taking the big arena or big stadium to our neck of the woods for hockey, basketball, and football and whatnot.
Well, they would have to put 2 stadiums.
They'd have to put 2 stadiums, for football and whatnot. The Commanders, aka Redskins, their training camp their home facility is in Loudoun County, but they play in Maryland. It would be awful.
It would be devastatingly bad.
It would be great from a perspective of I am a Commanders fan, and it would be easy for me to get to the games. Outside of that, like I hate the Caps and I hate the Wizards and all that other stuff, so I don't care about that. But as a Commanders fan, it would be terrible because I don't want to, I don't have tickets. I don't have season tickets. I might not have season tickets. I don't want to have
to go to 1 game a year.
I'd go to 1 game a year. and traffic would be miserable.
Awful.
I wouldn't be able to leave my house on a Sunday because of all of the traffic. It just would be awful.
The traffic would be abysmal.
The riffraff.
The element of people that you bring in would be disastrous.
The police force would have to step up big time.
Right.
And you're dealing with just nothing but a bunch of riffraff.
And it's more.
Here's the problem, Sam. What you're not getting. I understand you think it's a good thing, but think about going to a 7-Eleven at 6 o'clock or 7
we don't
o'clock.
know if Sam thought it was a good thing. He just asked us our opinions on it.
Well, no, he said it. He said it was awesome.
He said it was a good thing?
He indicated it was a good thing.
Yeah.
Okay. Now
imagine
you can yell at Sam. Never
going
mind.
to a 7-Eleven at like 6 o'clock after a 1 o'clock football game, and then the amount of people and drunks that you're going to have to deal with in there. Yeah, we're just getting some beer on the way home, and what are you doing? No. It would just be
a nightmare.
It would be a nightmare.
So
your restaurants on a Sunday night would be packed.
It's more than just Sunday night though, too, because think of all the concerts and other events that would be.
All the concerts,
I've said this too. Awful.
The other thing too is the reason. Like, once again,
I'd be moving around.
I'm a Commanders fan, and so for me, a game day experience currently in Maryland is miserable.
Awful.
Because it's one way in and one way out. So traffic is terrible. It doesn't.
There's no more roads here.
No,
Loudoun County doesn't have a lot of roads.
It's one way in and one way out. 7 would be packed.
We have 728 Loudoun County Parkway.
Yeah, but it wouldn't make it better. It doesn't make things that much easier.
Oh, and by the way, the only 2 roads out of here are 7 and Waxpool.
Yeah.
And they both connect to 28.
Yeah.
And that would be your only way out. Yeah. Imagine having to only go 28.
Yeah.
And then if you need to go somewhere for whatever reason on a game day or a concert night, you're not going.
Yeah.
Sorry, wife. We can't go to the restaurant you like in Mosaic Center tonight because there's a Redskin game going on.
Yeah. It's one of those things that would be a miserable, terrible.
And you're not even going. How many people? The only people who would be going are people who have season tickets and or going for their one game a year.
Look, so all of the owners for both all of these teams, they want to be in DC. They're just using the talk of and the leverage of Virginia wanting them as a way to leverage DC to give them better deals. There's currently today the bill. It's a bipartisan bill that's moving through Congress that's to give the RFK land back to the city of DC. So that the city of DC can rebuild the stadium there. So that's where the new stadium is going to be for the Red Commanders.
I think we answered Sam's question.
Yeah, we did. We did.
But thank you for the email, Sam. You should write in again, especially about your hair bands, your favorite hair bands.
There we go.
Yes, write in about your hair bands.
Yes, Sam.
So anyway, thank you, Sam, for writing in.
That was awesome.
And folks, if you want to write in and be a part of our show, please check out subfactspodcast@gmail.com. Feel free and write in. Also, this is always on YouTube, so leave comments in the comment section and be a part of the show.
Boom. All right. All music, all tech support for Subfacts is provided by our friend Andy at Creative Underground. He runs a state-of-the-art production studio in our hometown, Leesburg, Virginia. You can find out more by going to his website. He offers pro karaoke. He's the best audio tech guy around. He does corporate events, youth sports. Go to
www.creativeunderground.co, not .com.
Was that the awkward pause or like you were selling it?
Oh, actually, the embarrassing part is I just got so wrapped up in your words. I was like, it's like music's in my ear. And I stopped. And so, yeah.
Okay.
.co, not .com. Oh, no, actually, I was thinking about Andy because Andy has the COVID for the third time. So, yeah,
ouch.
Tough time for Andy on that one.
Then we got our boy Ben.
From KStreetPhotographyDC.com. Ben is all over the place. We talk about it all the time. If you think of photos, you think of Ben. There's only one person you can think of is Ben.
If you need a photo or a video, call Ben. I'm telling you, He's the best out there.
He specializes in commercial real estate marketing, business headshots, personalized business branding, imaging, corporate events, team imaging, all of the above. Once again, you think of photos, you think of Ben from KStreetPhotographyDC.com.
And we mentioned him before, BK, friend of the show. He is going to be lighting up the scoreboard about our top 10.
Yes.
But this guy and his team can make any car look like new. He just posted a picture on Facebook this week. There was a car that had like damaged leather, like, almost like rotted out car. He made it look like $1 million. He can do it to your car too. Give him a call. Big Dog Auto Detailing, the best car wash place out there, car detailing, 571-233-8716.
And once again, if you want to be a part of our show and write in at subfactspodcast@gmail.com. If you want to learn more about our show and check out our website, get the merch, go to subfactspodcast.com. But then just know, if you have friends that don't know anything about the show, what we really do want is people to go, hey, I really enjoyed this show. You should check it out.
Yep.
I feel like we're the biggest.
With the new format, we're going to get there.
We're the show that nobody wants to tell.
No. With the new format, we're going to get there. With the focus on certain topics, we're going to blow it up.
There we go. So check us out on Spotify, iHeartRadio, YouTube, Pandora, Apple Podcasts. Anywhere you can find podcasts, you will find Subfacts.
Yes.
With that being said, once again, I wanted to say another RIP to my grandmother.
RIP.
She was the best.
Grandma S.
Yes, and we will not be doing a show next week because I'll be at funerals and stuff. But anyway, we will see you the following week. And with that being said, please stay safe, stay healthy, and we will see you next time.
Boom.
Boom.